This is, I don't know, this is like the coolest thing I feel. I don't know why I like it so much. It just organizes things so much better. So rather than having like a weight storage system, which I have one in the basement actually, and just like things strewn about, it just allows us to really organize things. So this is actually a Titan mass storage system. This is the 45-inch length one. Eventually probably going to try and expand it a little bit, but right now it works perfectly for our space. I'm going to reorganize this because it doesn't make sense to have the heavy dumbbells up here and then the plates stacked here and then the med balls. It doesn't really matter. 50-pound dumbbells, 35-pound dumbbells. So typically what you see for RX weights as far as the open goes and just general workouts that we do when we do like street parking workouts or anything like that. So 35, 50, then 25, 20s. And then we have like a small over here, the small kind of weights there. So 15, 10, 5, and 2.5. We have our 14 and 20 pound med balls, also wedding gifts, right? So I think Cody, thank you Cody and Marissa. I think both of you guys gave us these bad boys for our wedding, so thank you for that. And then again, more of those Rogue HG 2.0 bumpers, so 10, 15s, 25s. I think 2 sets of 25s, these are 35s. As I mentioned, the 45s are on the squat stand. And then these are some high temp bumpers, 10 pound there, and then all our change plates, 10s, 5s, 2.5s there. On the very bottom, on the ground here, I'm not sure if you can see them too well, but we have 70-pound kettlebell, right? 2 53s or 24 kilos, and this is a whatever kilo. Our sandbag, which is kind of nice to have. This one we got from Fringe Sport. You can load it up to 100 pounds, so it's really nice when you're doing some odd object training, just kind of mess around with it a little bit. Ab mat, this is also a piece of the original gym I ever owned, so the ab mat, the axle bar, the sled, and bumpers are the first things I ever owned as far as and a jump rope. Ever owned, along with some Reebok Nano 1.0s in lime green and red. And then shortly after I bought some grays, and if you know anything about me, you know that it just became history from there, and I just kept buying more and more shoes. Anyway, every PT owns one of these guys or uses these. This is a off-brand RX pad, so just working for balance and stability and things like that there. So boom, that goes on the bottom there. And then of course, the Menards chalk bucket, right? You gotta have a bucket for your chalk, unless you use liquid chalk, which I have that somewhere. Don't know where though. As I mentioned, the small stuff, right? So not huge, but 15, 10, 5, 2.5 pound dumbbells. This is a 45 pound kettlebell, 35 pound kettlebells, 25, 15, 5. These are awesome. The story behind these is when we bought the rower, we wanted to do 3 ships free, so we bought sets of 0.5 and 0.25 pound plates. I'm not sure if we've ever used these, but they're fun to have. They're cool, basically decorative. 2 things we have here, which I use every now and again. The 26 pound fat bell, Thompson fat bell. So just a different way to train. So rather than doing a kettlebell dumbbell, the mass is distributed through the center and a handle there. So this is the 26 pound Thompson fat bell from Rogue. And then I'm pretty sure either I bought this one or Kelsey. Kelsey bought me one of these as a gift because she knows me really well, so she's awesome. This is a 9 pound one. It just works. It's for rehab, for having a lighter one, and we're trying to do some shoulder stuff or anything like that. It's nice to have something a little bit lighter to kind of train those movements you're not too comfortable with, or you want to load up too much too quickly. Okay, so last few things. Yeah, here. Titan Fitness crash pads. So when we do Olympic lifts and the baby's sleeping, or in general we just want to save the plates so we don't want to knock them down to the ground really hard. These are really nice to have to drop weights onto for doing some kind of elevated lifts or even some deficit pulls, or we want to do some pulls from the knee or higher. I'll stack these guys. I also really like using these for hip thrusts, so getting our shoulders up on it, getting our shoulders elevated and just kind of using hip thrust, barbell hip thrust. Really nice kind of thing to have. Slam balls, 25, 20 and 14. I'm pretty sure the 20 is like broken and dented and doesn't slam anymore, but it hasn't popped open, so I'm holding on to it. Whiteboard, a list of things I need to film. A lot of things I still need to film. This is typically where we write the workout. So typically what we do is we'll write what we're doing that day and leave it on the board for someone else to do it. So if my wife does it first, she leaves it on there and tells me what she did, and I'll either do it or usually I just do my own thing and then do the WOD she did, or the Metcon. But more than often than not, I typically either do what she does or I'll write a workout and she'll do what I do, which is nice. You gotta have a whiteboard, something to write on. Chalkboard is fun too. The girls, CrossFit, Rich Froning, the man who I watched in 2012 when the CrossFit Games kind of got me started into CrossFit. Captain America, did my favorite Avenger. There's a door. Okay, last bit, right? Clock. I haven't restarted it, but that's typically how we time our workouts. Over here, I'm gonna tilt a little bit more. Josh Bridges, pay the man. Gotta love that guy. Fade banner, got it for free. This is our sound system. So I have a small amplifier here up on top in the storage areas. We have 2 speakers that kind of blast music. And then when we get music, Amazon Alexa, right? So she didn't listen to me, that's good. Tell her what to play, she plays music for us. There's my collection of drinks that are not healthy minus the O2. So I got O2 here. Right? That stuff. Sponsor me. Then my Achilles heel. These are Raise energy drinks. They're just cheaper than Bang, which is why I buy them. But they claim to be healthier than Bang. Don't know how true that is. And then of course our C4, just because it's the same price as the Raise, and it's got caffeine in it and beta-alanine and some other stuff, right? Kelsey's Nook, right? So we got her lifting shoes here, her trainers, I think they're Grace's. These are my lifters, my what are these called? Romaleo 2s, lime green. I've wanted these since they were the Romaleo 1s and they were lime green. Then I went to a course and Quinn Hennick, you know who he is, made fun of me because he thinks these are the ugliest things ever, but I'm a big fan of these. Romaleo 2s, knee sleeves. I don't think, if you don't know what this is, obviously bench press is not your best lift like it is mine, unfortunately. And then gotta take care of your stuff, right? Nice nylon brush, soft nylon brush. Bear Complex hand grips. It's funny, I have a ton of equipment. Kelsey's a lot more au naturel, does not need all the stuff that I typically use. These bins are nice. We keep them in here. So there's an extra set of rings. The goal is to actually have rings hanging from the ceiling of the garage eventually. So these will be hanging there for bar muscle ups and just kind of some other elevated stuff. These are those pins I talked about. All right, so we got extra ones in here. This is BFR cuffs. Use those. Sledding straps, spring collars. Nothing really much in there. And here is just a ton of equipment, right? So I have my knee wraps, stick, gloves, because when it's really chilly, I don't like touching metal because I'm at a ninny, or I'm kind of a ninny, so I use these to kind of keep my hands warm. Thumb tape, voodoo floss, those bands for your glutes and stuff like that. Foam rollers. Got this one for Kelsey as a gift a long time ago. Don't know where I got that, probably free. And then boom, most importantly, we'll use this guy for hip thrusts to keep the bar from killing us. Extra chalk, courageous ball, bag and trash can. So that's where we keep our trash. Right here, roll this guy out. This is the NC Fit mat. So if we want to do like burpees and things like that in the backyard, or even in here, sometimes it's just not the most fun to do those kind of things on the ground. That's really comfortable to kind of drop down on the ground with, or if we're doing jump rope outside, so we don't ruin our rope on the concrete, we use that guy too. And lastly, can't really see that one, but I'll show it to you in a second. Concept 2 rower, right? Usually we have it stored this way. The goal is to eventually, and soon, we're saving up for it and putting some money aside over the last few months and kind of just working, because I really would like to get a Concept 2 bike erg as well, just for some really good conditioning. It's a little quieter and it's just a different feel than having an AirDyne bike that when you go really hard it makes a lot of noise. So hoping to get that. And then the last thing we have here, boom, Schwinn AirDyne something old school, right? 100 and something bucks on Craigslist. Great piece of equipment. The baby cage. And over here, we have our GetRx bench, Matador dip bar, road sled, and oh man, I almost forgot about these guys. Come on with me here. Right, we have our specialty bars. Titan Fitness trap bar. My weight vest I got from Cat Eye Armor. So this is just your standard, I don't know which vest it is, but it was nice. And really nice curved weight plates. Behind there you got your farmer's carry handles, tricep bar, and a PVC pipe, and the Titan Fitness barbell holder. I'm almost out of battery, so I'm gonna have to stop. But that's what we got, guys. That is the garage gym. Hopefully you cared enough to watch this entirely way too long of a video. But again, if you have any questions about any of the stuff we have or any of the equipment we have or things like that, hopefully I can make a video for you if you're thinking about starting your own garage gym. You want to know, like, hey, what do I recommend, or what do we, my wife and I, recommend are the most important things that we have and that we own? Shoot those questions in the comments, shoot us a message. Again, follow us, the Garage Gym Physio on Instagram, CrossPhysio MKE on Instagram. I'm Dr. Gmo DPT on Instagram, and the Garage Gym Physio at gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, want us to talk about anything. Hopefully we can start throwing out some educational content out there, so keep your eyes open for that. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time.